All right, welcome back to another episode of the Big Kids Podcast. I'm your co-host D Money, and this is
Julia.
And you can't introduce yourself.
Okay.
You never do. Just like from personal experience, you've just never introduced yourself. All you do is say your name.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know.
What's your point?
Do something. We were actually having a heated discussion before this about how when I record, so before every podcast, I do a 10-second recording of the room that we're in, just so that I can put it through a noise reduction filter, get that amount of noise, and just completely delete it out of the audio so it sounds crisper. And crisp. And I just ask that you go next to the microphone the way you normally are, and just basically make no more noise than breathing. That way I can edit that stuff out, and it's just dead ass our talking.
And what do? I breathe.
You do some kind of exaggerated breathing that sounds like
No, I don't.
as if that's normal. And I just need you to fucking exist for 10 seconds, and you can't even do that correctly. Oh, that's your input.
This entire podcast, I will now be breathing normally, quote unquote normally, and it will be sad when you go back to edit and realize that the whole time you can hear my breathing.
So being annoying is that's what you're gonna write on your resume whenever you work. What do you do for a living? Be annoying. Speak. What? You just tried to elbow me.
No, I wasn't. I was just moving.
With your elbow at me?
I guess.
I asked for a simple back scratch earlier, and you're just like, you just sling your nails across my back and scratch me up, and that shit hurted for sure, for real.
Yeah, well, you asked for a scratch in the back, so I scratched your back. You're welcome.
Like someone asked for a knife, and you just stab him in the fucking gut. You asked for the knife, didn't you? You got the knife, huh? So
that's what. If you would ever ask for a scratch back, that's what I would do. Scratch your back.
A scratch back. Someone asked
back
for
scratch.
You're at a bar. First time ever at a bar, someone asked for a shot, and you're just like, okay. You pull out a gun. Pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Speaking of irritating people, using you as a segue. We were watching a BuzzFeed video the other day.
We were.
And it was about, was it like a puff pastry or something? Someone making a pastry.
Did we not talk about this on the last podcast?
No, we didn't. This was we watched it literally after we filmed the last podcast. So it was about them making two cooks or something, or just one cook. I don't remember. They were making a pastry. And I think it was a cat themed. I don't remember. But one of the people on the show shared a fact. It's like, that cats don't actually communicate with each other.
Okay, no.
So
you said it. You didn't say it correctly. It's the fact that cats don't meow at each other. They only meow at humans because that's their way of communicating with humans. And
for some reason that fact annoyed me. And that reason is because I hate when there's a fact going around social media. I'll see it on Instagram, I'll see it on some Snapchat stories, I'll see it on Facebook or whatever, and it's some really unimportant fact, and it's something like that where it's cats didn't actually meow in the wild. They only do that to communicate with humans.
No, I think
something
that's
so
interesting. No, I think that's interesting, especially if you have cats, because then you realize cats don't actually meow at each other, but when they're meowing, they're directly trying to communicate with you. So I don't think that's dumb.
I'm not saying the fact. Sorry, I burped. I'm not saying the fact is stupid. I'm saying that the fact that people consistently share it and act like they're the first to realize that is stupid. So where it's everyone in the world has probably seen the post saying cats don't actually meow at each other.
Well, that's the thing. Not everybody has seen it, so that's probably why they're sharing it.
Just let people figure it out on their own. It's not important.
I think you think that because it was on a video and that video is seen by a lot of people, but in that video she was probably just genuinely just talking to her friend and letting her friend know that fact, not thinking that because the friend that she was talking to had cats. Or a cat.
She's the friend that she was talking to was allergic to cats.
No. I'm talking about the Rie. She's allergic to cats, but she was saying the facts to her friend, and the friend did not have allergies.
The friend was saying the fact to the cook, who was allergic to cats and does not own a cat.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but so what?
You are wrong, completely 150%.
All right, everybody, go to BuzzFeed, YouTube.
BuzzFeed Unsolved Network.
No, look up the cat puff. Look up the cat puff pastry video, and fact check us.
You don't have to fact check us. I know for a fact that it wasn't the cook giving the fact.
I know for a fact you're lame.
Anyway, so on this next episode, we're actually going to be broken up.
Oh my god.
So it's just gonna be me on the next episode talking by myself.
We're going to split.
There's a quick sample of what you guys are gonna get. It's just gonna be a beatboxing podcast for 1 hour. I'm just gonna beatbox.
That's hard.
I do go hard on the track.
That's not easy.
Being cheesy. What's that Chester Cheeto? Like, what's that saying? It's not easy being cheesy.
I don't know, but that sounds really good. I love it.
Cheetos? Or the saying?
The saying.
You can't really
It's not easy being cheesy. I like that.
You can't really eat the saying.
I'm a cheese girl. Anybody who knows me well knows that I'm a cheese girl.
Dude, my cats are cheese girls.
Apparently.
Dude, they'll rip up an entire...
But the cats can't have cheese, though.
But
they're lactose intolerant.
You act as if my cats give a shit.
No, they don't care. But, like, that's why they have to be regulated.
We, as their sole protectors, should look into that. No, but, though, like, if you just leave a little... What are they called? Velveeta cheeses? Not Velveeta. Oh, my God. Babel. Yeah, the Babel cheeses. The individual, like, wax-wrapped ones. They'll just rip it up. Every time I go in with anything that has cheese into my room... they'll just follow me around and just like try to eat the cheese. Like I brought a slice of pizza yesterday or 2 days ago to the room. Yep, and surely enough, they were running around trying to get my pizza for the cheese. Cheese. No, but that's why we get along so well. We're all cheese girls. We love each other. We love cheese. It's all good. I don't think they really love you.
I think they do.
Prove it. Why? Why do you think they love you? Are cats capable of loving?
I think they are.
Yes. And?
Yes, they love me, and that is that.
Dude, they're getting so big. It's crazy how... Well, one of them's getting big. The other one's just, like, staying consistently small.
Yeah, our little Lily.
She's just a little pipsqueak. Her sister, Yumi, she's half the size of her now.
No, she's getting bigger.
Yumi's like what, 5 months old?
Uh-huh.
No, she's 12 weeks. 12 weeks. So 3 months. And Lily's almost a year old.
Yeah. In July, right?
July 19th.
That's insane. And Lily's still so tiny.
No, yeah,
Lily's a tiny cat.
She's like the size of like maybe a 6-month-old cat.
Like a shoebox.
Yeah, she could fit perfectly fine in the shoebox and have some space left over.
Yeah.
Like a men's size 10.5 shoebox.
I think all shoeboxes are pretty much the same when they're adult.
That's so ignorant. Please stop foot size erasure.
Oh my god. Hey.
No, but we were talking about this yesterday, and something I realized was that people don't really use traditional TV the way they use like apps, like streaming apps. Like, what? You gave me a weird look. What do you mean?
What are we talking about?
The fact that no one uses TV the way they used TV before.
Where did we get to that?
Was I not talking to you about it?
I don't know what.
I was talking to someone. I was talking to someone.
Where did you get that from?
No, it just because what's it called? You were being annoying. No.
Oh my god.
I don't remember what. Oh, because I was looking at my TV, and I realized like so like everything has a bezel. You know, that little black border around every single device.
Yeah.
That's just to hold basically the screen in place. You know.
Yeah.
And like, no matter how big your screen is or how wide, like whatever, what device you use, there's almost gonna be like 100% guarantee you have a bezel on it.
Okay.
And my TV, it has about 1/2 inch worth of bezel.
Okay.
And like, to me, that's freaking huge. That's like a gigantic bezel. But it like, realistically, it's not. I mean, for like a 55-inch TV, that's not bad. My phone, the little iPhone I have right here, the iPhone 10. It has a small bezel for a phone, you know, but it's still pretty blocky to me. Your phone, the 10R, has an even bigger bezel, and to me that's like that obscures my my immersion into the device.
Not mine. I don't really notice it, to be honest.
Well, I mean, because you went from like what, the 6S Plus to the 10R. The thing had like huge bezels, and now you barely have any. So like, you know, to you that's your stepping stone. But when I go from my 10, which is like a small bezel, to your 10R to like a huge ass bezel, that's crazy to me. And I was thinking we had they're the old TVs with the big boxes in the back of them, the little CRT TVs. We had a pretty big one. It was like 65 inches before we upgraded to like a flat screen. And like I never understood the premise of a flat screen because like to me all screens are flat. But I think it like the flat screen refers to the fact that it's not those like domed glass screens anymore, and it doesn't have that big box attached to the back of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking it has to do more with the entire shape of it.
Yeah, and like
not the fact that the screen is flat.
Because then my phone's technically a flat screen, right?
Yeah, I guess.
No, but yeah. So when I was younger, we had those like a huge fat TV that like would not fit through our door. Like they had to like dismantle and then put it together. Like it was giant, you know. It fit like right here in the little living room, you know, and it had thick bezels. It was a big boy, you know. It was like the space of a couch basically, and like that used to be normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember when having a fat TV was normal.
But like the biggest flex would be, yeah, bro, my TV takes up my whole fucking living room. I could barely like stay in it.
And now the flex is
like, oh yeah, I can barely even see my TV. Yeah,
it's just like a painting on the
wall. It's so flush. Yeah, like Samsung's making a series of flat screen TVs dedicated to look like art pieces.
I think that's super cool.
I think it's super tacky.
No, I think it's very nice for like, especially for designing a house. If it's just like on the wall, it's out of the way. It doesn't look so cluttered.
It's not just a big black like screen.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I mean, I guess.
And then there was one TV you were talking about that had some kind of like design reference.
Yeah. So Samsung has another TV. It's called the Serif. And for those of you who don't use typography like me, serif refers to
when letters have those little curves in them, those extra little not flourishes, but
like Times New Roman type shit.
Yeah, Times New Roman, exactly.
Is a serif.
Yeah.
So when it has like those weird like the letter I has like those
the two bars at the top and bottom.
Yeah, basically like that.
Bar at the top and bottom.
And like
the A has the little foot, little toe coming out.
Yeah, and like that's the side of the TV. It does exactly that. It looks like a serif eye or like a basic serif eye. And I don't know. I think it's cool that they're experimenting with the way TVs look, but I don't think it's like there's no value in it to me. You know, like they're expensive. They're like $1,000 worth of TV. You know, like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for the newest like line of TV, where it's like it's super thin, it's super cool, it's like flush with the background.
What's the idea with the letter? What's the idea with that shape of having the letter I? On the side?
Well, if you think about it, you want a flat TV. You want one that's kind of out of the way, right? If you want to make it into like that serif kind of feel, where it like it's flush with like a bookshelf or something, and if you look at it from the side, not only does it look like a letter, in like the form of a like serif or whatever, however you would phrase that, but it also fits in with like, you know, like a style of a room, like a minimalistic room, or like it's like flush with what is it called? The furniture?
Could it be flush? How could it be flush with anything though? If it's got the extra hanging off the side.
Ooh.
So
I'm not a designer, so I don't know like the perfect terminology for it. But I believe they sell a stand for it, like a specific, like a TV specific stand.
Like one that attaches to the wall, you mean, or
no? It's like a stand.
Oh.
And I think it looks like an easel. Is what you're right, easel.
It's an easel, not an aisle. That's an island. That's short for well, that's one island. Wait.
Or
wait,
it's like
one island is one island.
Like a tiny little island, like a little aisle.
Do you want to talk about the difference between an island and an aisle?
Well, one you can find in a Jewel Osco. The other one you'd have to travel the sea for, you know?
Oh my god. No, but like people call islands aisles. But yeah, it's called an easel. It looks like an easel on
Something
purpose.
like that. I don't remember what it.
Like it's on the it's like on a diagonal.
That'd be stupid, but I don't remember what it looks like.
That would be stupid. All right, well, I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Okay, I guess we'll just pause here just for fun. I guess to us it'll be a few minutes. To you guys it'll be a few seconds. Watch. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back.
Hello.
So I did some research while you were in the loo. Right, that's what British people call the bathroom.
WC.
WC, wash center.
Okay.
No, but I looked up this TV stand for the Seraph and I was wrong. There's one that's supposed to be a painting, and that one has like an easel type stand.
Which would make more sense.
The Seraph has a stand that makes it look like those old like 80s type TVs where it's like the 4 little legs at the bottom of it that like each meet at like a center or something.
Oh, they're coming from the center and they like. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so that's like kind of what it takes after.
Interesting.
I think it's weird.
Is it ugly?
It's not ugly.
Do you have a photo of it?
Do you have a photo of it? Yeah.
On your phone?
Yeah, I can show you. But it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of tacky to me.
Well,
it makes it look like a projection screen.
It interests me.
I dropped my fucking phone. Oh my fucking god!
You just let it like
you just
slide. It just slid like a.
It wasn't like phone. It wasn't like it slid out like on its own because of a weird angle. I just like let go of it and it fell. Like my phone just smashed.
I don't know
to the
why
floor.
you do that.
I don't do it on purpose.
Why would you do that?
Why would you purposely slam your phone on the floor?
Oh wow, that's the Seraph. Oh, it's so cool because you just put it on the floor. Oh, it's cool.
I think it's really weird. I think when like
it looks funny, but it's cool. It's interesting. So this looks like a painting, though. This looks like the paint. If it was the painting one, I would think, oh, this is the painting one.
The painting. This is the painting.
Show me the one that's on the easel. This one's cool. This is a cool TV.
I'll see if I can edit in a picture of the Seraph.
Show me the painting. You guys
what? Just
look
Google
it up
on your own. You fuck.
All right, I will.
No, but
What is it called? The Samsung painting TV?
Samsung like portrait or something. I don't fucking remember. But they're just like really weird. But it's like I guess like because like people dedicate their time to their TV less than they do their actual phones now, right?
For sure.
Because it's like even like because like cable TV is it's a dying industry for sure. That's why like a lot of Wi-Fi or like not Wi-Fi, but like internet companies like Comcast and what is it, DirecTV and now does internet too, AT&T. They all push for like their premier packages that have like the cable TV connected to them.
No one really cares.
Yeah, no. They have the cable TV, they have the Wi-Fi, and then you can get like home phone and all that, which is also dying. You know, I haven't been in a house in like years that's had a home phone.
Yeah, we only recently got rid of our home phone a few years ago.
We got rid of ours like probably when I was like 10 or something. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, because like that's how like long ago it died. No, but I was right now we actually have cable TV. It's just it was added to the bundle that we had, and you can't really find a bundle for just Wi-Fi anymore, which is weird. I guess because they're really trying to push for that cable TV.
Because most people want more than Wi-Fi. They have several other things to worry about, like phone and TV.
Like phone. No, but my bundle is 150 megabytes per second, which is like it's a decent speed. It's not bad, but it's not the best that I can be getting, you know. And it's 150 channels. The higher I go for the Wi-Fi, the like faster speed. So like I can go to 300 megabytes all the way to a gigabyte, which is gigabit internet, which is really fast, which I want to do. But the more I do that, the lower my TV packages are. But I can't get no TV. Like there's no bundle that I can get without TV. You know, I can't just get gigabit internet on my own. You know, like
they don't want the TV stuff.
They don't want it to die. No, exactly.
They don't want it to.
The price for the 150 for the megabytes per second and the 150 channels is the same as the 300 megabytes per second with 100 channels. It's the same as the gigabit internet with the 75 channels, You know, they're all the same price. You know, so they're not like they're not reducing the price to where the channels aren't worth it anymore. You know, quote unquote worth it. They're just making sure you keep the channels.
Yeah, they're
Like,
just always included.
Yeah, it's like
no matter what.
You won't get as much channels, but you can upgrade your Wi-Fi a little bit. But you're keeping channels. You know,
It's weird.
and at that point, it's like, hey, you might as well add on a few like extra channels if you're getting gigabit and just like enjoy the TV because like you're getting 75 channels, but you're not getting good ones. You know.
Ugh.
Why don't you add the rest?
I don't like that because then people are like wasting their time watching like TV.
And it's like I don't get why. Yeah.
And that's kind of been like everybody knows, it's been replaced by like Netflix and all those.
YouTube.
But yeah, I don't know. I think. Do you think the quality? Do you think the quality of
content on TV is reduced?
Is better when it comes to like the new platforms that we use, like Netflix and Hulu and all that? Because I think it kind of is better quality. And the reason I say that is because it's what we want more so, and usually is more informative and educational sometimes.
I feel like it's better in that it has more opportunity, and that the outlets are better. So
yeah, and then the TV industry is more controlled. Maybe.
So like things like YouTube, things like Netflix, things like Hulu, and then things like the actual like cable TV, they're all the same essentially. They're all. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. You talk while I sneeze.
This dude's sneezing. All right, how was it?
It was good. So like they're all the same essentially. They're all just providers of entertainment. You know, I'm a little sick, guys. Sorry. You know, but the way they do it is different. So it goes from like an immediate kind of like feedback entertainment hub, which is YouTube, to like a high latency kind of hub, which is cable TV. Because for YouTube, someone will post something that's free, by the way. You don't have to pay for YouTube. You know, you can access like hours upon hours worth of content without having to pay for it. There's like things like YouTube Premium or like YouTube Red, which I think is YouTube Premium, you know?
Yeah, or YouTube Red.
I think they changed Red to Premium. But, you know, you don't have to pay for that shit. You don't have to pay to be, like, someone's sponsor on YouTube or, like there's other stuff that you can pay for YouTube, but you don't have to because you can still get free content anywhere on YouTube. Mm. And, like, it's immediate, the feedback that you can give them. Like, someone can, like, post a video. They'll be like, oh, this is whack. We don't like this and this. And then their next video will have nothing to do with that kind of content, you know? A lot of creators are always like, hey, you know, like we read your comments and stuff. We read all your DMs, all that kind of stuff, and we use that to gauge what we like, what we do and we don't do on our videos.
Well, yeah, it's their livelihood. So,
whereas there's things like it's commercial TV, you know, like all that stuff where it's like you can watch an episode of like Game of Thrones or some shit like that, and you can be like, oh, I fucking hate this shit, but literally no one like in their whole like directing team, anything like that, none of the actors will be like, yeah, we're gonna change that for the next episode, don't worry, we'll do that for you, because it's like you can't really do that. But it's also like YouTubers are small, like lower budget kind of people.
Bad example, because you guys know what movie is being extended just to appease its fans.
The Sonic the Hedgehog
a little movie called The Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
No, but it's like, you know, like you can't like immediately fix a multi-million-dollar like work like on TV. You know, you can't just be like, this episode of The Real Housewives of Orlando, and don't fuck with it, so fix the content, sweetie. You know, because they're not going to do it. They can't. They really can't. It's like not within their power to fix it until the next season, because most of their shit's already pre-filmed. Mm-hmm. You know, but with YouTube you can. And I feel like that's what people like, the interactive part of YouTube. Like you can find the same quality content anywhere, but because like what's it called? You can interact with the YouTubers. You can talk to them. You know, quote unquote, talk to them. Obviously, you're not gonna have a one-on-one with them, but it's like they respond to you, to their consumers. They change it, and it's almost like close to immediate changes. You know, whereas you don't get that with TV. And I feel like that disconnect between like immediate and like almost certified, like guaranteed never gonna be a change is what people like. So it's like they like the control, where it's like this YouTuber pooped in their video, they're canceled, gone, done with, out of here, bye, sorry, sweaty. But it's like if like a Game of Thrones character poops in a video or something in an episode, you can't be
What's
like,
going on?
You can't be like, sorry, sweaty, but this person's canceled. You know, Game of Thrones, more like Game of Poop Pants.
Interesting.
No, but you know what I'm saying, where it's
very
like
compelling argument.
where it's like people want to know what they're getting. They want them to know the content they're getting, and they want to know that they can trust the content givers to give that to them. All right, quick break there that you guys didn't notice because of my flawless editing. It's been a few minutes since we had that conversation about TV, and we actually have a special guest on the show tonight. It's my sister. She just came back from work. What's your name?
My name is Noemi.
All right. Anyways, enough of that. So, how do you feel about the fact that YouTube and TV are not the same anymore? And well, they never were, but YouTube is killing the TV industry. Do you care that YouTube is a lot more popular than TV, or is that not something you give a fuck about?
I think that YouTube.
All right.
Is way
Thank
better.
you for your input. Right. Okay. So, no, you were saying?
I think that YouTube is way better than actual TV because TV, like the TV shows nowadays are just whack, and like YouTube has more, like I don't know, things more things that you would enjoy.
And how do you feel about the fact that you like in some way, consumers of YouTube can control what content not only do they see, but what content these popular creators give out. You know, like if someone like you've seen videos where the content creators are like, guys, your comments really help. That way we know what you do and don't like and what we can and don't do. You know, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's better than TV where it's like everything's a set plot and they like pre-film everything, and then once it comes out, whether or not you like it, it can't change because everything's already filmed? How do you feel about that? What style do you think is better? The one that avoids conflicts because you can't really change it, which is normal TV, or the one where it's like you can comment on something and a bunch of people can agree on it and then they'll change or influence the way the rest of the videos work? Which one do you like better?
I like the one where we could comment on it and like change it for our own liking, because then you have something to look forward to and enjoy watching, rather than on TV when you have no input into it.
All right, and then last question. What's your social security number?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, I was gonna say you're not a citizen then, if you didn't know that there was a 9th number. Is it 9 or is it 7?
No, it's
9. Okay. I was about to say mine on the fucking phone, as if I couldn't delete the audio. I actually did end up saying my social security number. I just deleted the audio. So if any of you guys are like snazzy, go to GarageBand and Apple and try to hack into my files and recover that sound bite of me saying my social security. I lied. Another question before you go. It's kind of a 2-part. So like part A, what are the 16 digits in the front of your credit card? And part B is what are the 3 wacky numbers in the back of it?
None of your business.
All right, but yeah, so you're saying that YouTube's pretty cool and TV is whack.
Yes, basically.
Okay, well, give her back the microphone because we only have 2. Guys, we're not
Right.
we're not grossing a lot of money.
Bye guys, this is Noemi and this completes our podcast.
Do you have anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to plug?
Follow me on Instagram, Noemi, NOEMIX Solis SOLIS. Thanks.
Well, guys, little does she know that once she
Is your
leaves
account private?
It is on private, but if you follow me, I'll follow back.
All right, guys, little does she know that I'm actually not going to keep that into the final cut. So anyways, going back to the topic about TV. Yeah, so TV is basically dead is what I'm saying. But now...
You know what I think, though? I appreciate the fact that people do like having their own input on the content, but then like that stifles the actual like
creator,
yeah. And then they go start going crazy because they want to perfectly appease to their audience.
Yeah, but then it's also like you do what makes you happy, and if like something like a change to your system still like leaves you happy, then why wouldn't you make it? You know, like
if it makes you happy, I don't see any problem up until the creator isn't doing what they want.
No, but you
basically.
know, like when it like from what I understand is that whenever creators are like hearing like their viewers say shit like, well, we don't want you to do this or don't act this way, even though that's like their personality or that's how they normally act. then what they normally do is like, well, at that point it's just like a stalemate. Like if they want to go see other creators, that's fine, but I'm not going to change who I am for the video. You know, like,
And yeah, hopefully they do recognize that that's how it is and they shouldn't change themselves. But I feel like that sometimes that really hits, it really affects the creators.
so some people that I keep bringing up in the podcast are the Paul brothers.
No, not again.
Like this, despite the fact that they're complete morons, they did like. I watched a podcast with them, and they were talking about, oh, do you like keep in mind your audience and let that decide your content, or do you let the content decide itself, and then whatever audience comes with it comes with it? And they were both like, well, it's a mix of both, because their friend or whatever asked them that as a black and white question, and they said it's not really like that. You know, like you obviously want to make content that makes the people happy, but at the same time you want to make stuff that makes yourself happy. And it's like, that's like basic knowledge where it's like you wouldn't do something if you're not happy with it. But in a world where like complacency is a big thing, and a lot of people are like, well, you got to work some shitty 9-to-5 job to like keep yourself like sustained. It might not make you happy, but it pays your fucking bills. You know, and we also live in a world where like consumerism is like very volatile. So it's like, I've seen like videos of people who work at like a Zoomies or like a Hot Topic or something, and they're just like, oh, for you guys that like to mess up displays, you know, or like, you know, here's a way to fold pants to put them back. That's super easy and takes 2 seconds. You know, or here's a way to like lift up a stack of clothes, put them on the side, grab your size, and then put the clothes back so it's not a constant mess at the store. And like a lot of people get mad and they're like, well, why the fuck should we have to do that? You're the one working there. But it's like, yeah, I mean, they're working there, but then like you're the same people who complain saying like the store's messy, or like everything's like disgusting, or like it's never organized. Like you know, like a worker can't be everywhere at once. And it's like, despite the fact that, yeah, a company, a YouTuber, anything that has a consumer base should like hear out their consumers. It also works the opposite way, where it's like you can't expect every single thing that you want to be done for you. You know, like you can't expect every single thing, every single change that you want, every single little application that you want like adjusted to yourself. You can't expect that to be a reality, you know, because like if someone's trying to appease every single person, you're going to have to make some sacrifices here and there. But if you're going to like focus on one person, then you're going to please no one, you know? And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like a trifling thing where it's like you give like people the freedom to decide what they want to see and what they want to watch and how they can change that. And you risk like the creative liberties that most people have. So I guess going back to the TV and the YouTube kind of thing, YouTube is definitely killing the TV industry. But it's like shows and all that aren't dying. Like YouTube has its own like YouTube Premium, where content creators either team up and make different like kinds of series and shows, or like actual like big name companies make shows in and of themselves on YouTube. And then Netflix, Hulu, all those like kind of like Amazon Prime, they also have their own like quote unquote TV shows, and like the streaming companies were thought to be like the TV killers. But now YouTube and all those things are killing the streaming companies. But that's enough about me, right? What's on your mind, dude? What are you feeling?
Am I feeling?
Yeah. You hungry or something?
No, I just ate.
We had KFC.
Yeah, we had KFC. It was pretty good. I had the famous bowl. It was not good.
It was too much corn.
It should not be famous.
Oh my god, that fucking biscuit we have, like, I know, like, not to expect much from
rock
like
hard biscuit. Yeah. What was that?
Like, I know not to expect a lot from fast food companies, but like for a dry ass, hard ass biscuit to like be in the middle of my box, I was like, just give me a box, not a box, just give me a rock, you know, just give me a fucking rock, and I'll eat that instead. But yeah, I remember a time where like when you were a kid and didn't have a refined palate, KFC was like gold. Like it'd be. I
like KFC. I just didn't like the famous bowl.
Just complaint after complaint, huh? No, but it's like as a kid, when my mom would get us KFC, I'd be like dying inside because I'd be like, "You really think I'm worth it, Mom? You really think I deserve KFC right now?" Yeah, I'd always get my little popcorn chicken. They'd have like those little kiddie meals. It's like a popcorn chicken and apple juice and all that kind of shit. And it's like, that'd be like the best thing in the world. But today we had popcorn chicken and like, it's just like stale, dry chicken with like hard bread and shit, you know? But like going along with animals and like chicken and stuff, I just saw an article about, so you know how in like, I think it's Taiwan, Vietnam, something like that, where they don't actually have animal protection like laws, so it's like there's like no domestic animals that can be saved from like being eaten and stuff. I just saw another article about how they let people live stream or something from the like that Taiwan market where they sell like exotic animals. It's just like regular like deli meats. I'm like, oh my god, dude, like the most like horrifying thing in the world is seeing like a toasted up dog just like laying on its back, jaw open. Yeah, it's like so fucked. And like I don't fuck with that kind of shit. But like they mentioned like little kitties being put up there and like eaten, and like I could like I guess stomach the side of the dog like that. Like it's still shitty, but like I could stand to see it. You know, like I won't like throw up seeing it or something like that. You know, but like I'm so glad they didn't show like a little cat like being toasted up like that, because that would like make my stomach churn, and it would just not be like a good time. But seeing the dog like that is not a good time either. But you know,
But it's really weird because if we see like a pig, like a roasted pig, it looks so good and
yeah, you see a
succulent.
roasted pig, your stomach goes.
I get hungry. I'm like, oh, I want to. Oh, that crispy skin.
Yeah, but you see like a toasted dog or like cat or something like that. That's not like typically
it's weird
shown. Yeah, it's like very.
It makes me feel really bad and sad. Yeah.
Yeah, but they also sell like bats. They sell like specific kinds of snakes. They sell, I think they're called flying foxes. I don't know what that is.
There's probably like a type of marsupial or I don't know,
rodent maybe. But then dude, oh my god, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's like old works, like Aztec works. They're like small sculptures that look like monkeys, and like they look like monkeys, but like obviously they don't have like refined, like photorealistic art skills to
they're
make
stylized.
Yeah. So like they look like weird glob monkeys. So they're like very curvy, very round, like their necks are thick and stuff like that.
They got boobies.
I got boobies. And like they sold monkeys on that market, and like they would obviously like shave their hair off and like roast them, you know. And oh my god, dude, there was a monkey that they showed. There was a picture of a roasted monkey that they showed, and that shit looked so like disgusting. Like it made me uncomfortable. It looked like one of those like little Aztec monkey depictions. You know?
My god, show me after this.
Yeah, but it's like I was talking to a friend about this too, and like their view on it was kind of fucked up.
Why?
Because well, see, I want to say fucked up because I don't like it. I don't like the view, so that's why it's fucked up to me. But it's like, I mean, do they raise a logical understanding or a logical point to this, where it's like, what they said is like, there's an argument that they may or may not agree with, you know, to save their own ass. But they said there's an argument going around about that kind of stuff, about the dog, cat, like wild, like that kind of animal trading and like eating. And he's like, well, if you like harvest things like cows and like pigs and all those animals we typically eat, what's the difference between people doing that and dogs? You know, just because we created a Western culture around these animals where it's like, you know, these pets.
That is very true. No, I think that's a valid argument, because it's Western views versus non-Western views. Like in the West, like only eating cows and pigs and like cattle and all that is acceptable. Maybe the occasional horse or snake or frog or whatever, but
horse. I don't remember when Aldi had horse meat in their food. Yeah, it was like a big deal. It was
Aldi
or Chipotle or some big like name company. I'm pretty sure it was Aldi. They had like horse meat, like traces of horse meat in some of their canned foods.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what canned meat you're buying, but
I don't know.
Canned chicken.
Canned chicken.
I mean,
horse meat.
I'm
and
sure
canned
if you
chicken,
can.
that would be
I'm
weird.
sure
No.
if you see red meat in your chicken, canned chicken, you'll know. You'll notice something.
Oh, y'all don't know about horse glue? I mean, y'all don't know about meat glue?
No, but what my friend was saying, he was talking about how like, why is it right for us to judge them because they're eating something we wouldn't eat?
Mm-hmm.
And like making this whole deal where it's like, you know, there's special cases for different animals, right. You know, but then like, to me, it's like, like sure, maybe some people value some animals more than others, but it's like, I don't know, like you're allowed to be upset about it, because like you put yourself in the position where it's like, what if my animal got eaten? What if someone stole my animal? And that's like a lot of speculation goes along with those markets, that they steal local animals, or they'll go to different towns and steal their pets that are just like roaming around the streets,
Mm-hmm.
and then cook them. And that's why people don't typically see their pets when they like let them roam around.
Here's what I think.
Yeah.
So like, we'd like to believe that we treat our animals better than they might, because I've seen videos,
Okay.
and like, I think maybe one reason would be even the animals we do eat. We still have like
Respect
laws,
yeah, like
I guess.
regulations.
Regulations,
Like, what's
I
that?
guess.
What's
Like,
that?
they have to have a certain
like,
amount of space or whatever. I don't know.
What's that expose that just came out about the Fairlife farms?
Yeah, that was messed up. So
Where it's
clearly, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's some really bad things going on.
Just to reference what we're talking about, or like just cite it, I guess there was an investigation that this like secret animal conservation group did on
Fairlife Farms, I think.
Is that what
and
it's actually called?
Yeah, and basically they're partnered with
Peter.
Nike. No.
Coke.
Coke.
Fairlife Farms is like something that the Coke company, supports, and
Right.
behind the scenes they abuse their cows, they abuse their cattle, they like kill them just because of the abuse. They like brand them and like hurt them hard and shit like
the
that.
babies, especially.
The babies, the little calves.
They were specifically pointing out their
calf abuse.
The fact that their calf abuse was the worst they've ever seen.
And on top of like the abuse itself, there's like drugs all over the premise.
Oh yeah, a lot of the workers are taking drugs.
Like not only like taking them, they're growing them.
Really, I didn't
remember
even know
the marijuana plants and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true. And not only that, but I believe either Fairlife Farms either takes up, if not all, then at least most of the dairy industry. So that's why
it's a large.
In the end of the video, they were like, just stop buying dairy altogether, which is
like
extreme.
Yeah, I need my
no, but like they're right. That's the only way to stop it. But anywho,
no, but like
I was
like yeah.
But anywho, what I'm trying to say is maybe there's a difference in that.
Speak your truth, girl. Speak your truth.
Maybe there's a difference in the way that animals are treated, and also, like, here's an example of like where animal deaths, animal death doesn't bother me as much. So there's kill shelters and there's no kill shelters. So people like, if you don't really get into it right away, you'd think, oh, why would you ever want to kill shelter? Animals are, why would you ever want to be killing animals? Obviously you want to help them all, but the argument is, and a lot of people who are animal advocates actually are okay with kill shelters because they, like, what are you gonna do? What
overpopulation?
If there's overpopulation, no one's there to take care of the little animal, then it's gonna be suffering. So,
but also, wouldn't you agree that?
So there's humane ways
to kill them.
To like, because like in one way, they're being killed. They're being euthanized because of overpopulation, whatever it may be, and on the other hand, they may be getting mistreated and like beaten and hurt, and then slaughtered to eat.
Yeah.
And the market for that is like obviously not regulated, as you were saying.
No, yeah, it's like, especially with the regulation, like a big like thing for the animal conservationists that want to shut that shit down is that, like, have you seen the pictures of the market? It's like raw meat next to cooked meat next to like just a bunch of shit, like flies and shit running around everywhere.
Flying around. I don't think flies run.
They like, they do the little skittles or skedaddles.
They are maybe running. Yeah, we don't know.
You don't know the cardiovascular exercises flies go through. No, but like you'll see like a bunch of stuff that like here in like, and I don't want to say more modernized, but like more standardized cultures where it's like they have regulations for like, oh, you can't keep meat, like raw meats, above like cooked meats or like anything else.
That's a common practice.
And like a storage unit, like, and you can barely like store them together. Like ideally,
we have the FDA.
FDA. No, and like these markets don't have that. They just have like raw meat laying around where raw meat hangs out. and like they'll have like these small little cubicles, I guess, and like they'll have poles holding up like a tent over them, and they'll have like meats like hanging from that tent. They'll have them like like strapped around the poles wherever they can display the food, you know. And that's fucked. I think that's fucked, you know. But you were saying about like the euthanization and
the
all
other
that,
part
yeah.
is if you think of like all our cats, they got worms.
Little wormies.
And
Well, that's because
technically,
from the
those
breast milk,
worms,
right? That's like
that is it's usually passed on from mom to baby. But and although those worms don't affect humans and cats at least, that's still gross.
ewy.
There's no way like those mistreated animals don't have worms or like other
Or like some
diseases.
yeah, that's what they're saying. They
no way.
like in and of itself, like the bare minimum for like their argument is that you shouldn't have like these gross like warm like raw meats next to these like already roasted meats, you know, because like obviously like like what is it, we had to take a stupid like 2 hour long learning session to get like a food handler's license
Food handlers, yeah.
when we worked in a restaurant. And I got mine when I was 16, but I still remember this, you know, 4 years later, where it's like you have to store meats at specific temperature, otherwise you let the bacteria in there like cultivate, you know, all those little cultures like grow, and like they exist at a specific what is it, gauge, I guess, for temperature, where it's like below this specific temperature they'll freeze or die off, and above this specific temperature they'll like die off, obviously, you know. So you have to have them like at those two extremes. Either you freeze them or you cook them for the bacteria to stay dead, but if not, then they can grow and cultivate, you know.
Anywhere in the middle and it'll start to go bad.
Yeah, it'll just go bad, and then you'll have all these like little maggots running around and stuff, and like insects can like survive.
Oh, so
yeah,
disgusting.
but it's like that, you know. Like the reality is, it's like that's also like
the bare bones argument, like the lowest of the low of arguments. Still, there's something wrong with
that's
it.
fucked. And then like on top of that, you have diseases or like possible like parasites that each of the meats can have. Because like you're not gonna eat like a possum or a raccoon, you know, not because like there's people being like, oh, don't eat those things, but like, you know, like there's roadkill foods that people eat, which I think is fucked. But it's like you're not gonna eat a possum or a raccoon because they could have those parasites, you know. And
yeah,
like,
I think the difference here is well, cattle and all that, they and like sheep, those types of animals have I guess evolved, right, or adapted to be,
I don't know,
to be what do you call it? Like
immune,
to be what do you call like what do you call animals that you can like not
domesticated?
Yeah, they're domestic. There we go. Raccoons aren't domesticated.
I know,
so
but
like,
it's like that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
why. That's the difference. Is because
but like bats aren't domesticated for
they're
the
not.
most part. You know, like these flying foxes, I've never heard of. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is.
So clearly, like there's a difference between domesticated animals and those that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's also what bothers people.
But it's also like modern medicine. Like obviously those cattle and all that, they get treated so that they're not maybe not at their healthiest, but like good enough to where they can kill and like eat, like slaughter. You know?
Right. So domesticated animals are taken care of, whereas the others aren't.
Yeah, quote unquote taken care of. Yeah.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Like
for
like
our
pets,
safety.
Pets, hopefully, like you want to say there's a guarantee that all your pets are like medicated and they've had their vaccines and everything, but obviously there's some shitty owners who don't do that shit.
Yeah.
But
you
like,
can call them odors. They are odors.
Odors. They smelly. No, but you were talking about like the no kill and the kill shelters.
Yeah.
And how like it's like rationalized that they kill the animals because of overpopulation and like
and quality of life basically is what it comes down to. Because
I'm not gonna argue with you on that because like yeah, like there's stuff that you hate to hear is the reality, but like maybe not that it helps, you know. But like also wouldn't another argument be that like you shouldn't have places that breed
exactly
animals like
no, that's exactly the point. Is
because like you pure breed them for a specific a specific like, you know, trait, specific characteristic, and like people don't realize that it's like the first puppy that comes out of those two dogs that you're breeding is probably not going to be the one you want. You know, you're gonna have to breed them a bunch down the line, and there's a lot of inbreeding problems that come with like breeding dogs. You know, which obviously like in humans that's not good. So like, why would it be good for animals? You know,
it's not. But that's the point. Is
so wouldn't you like? as opposed to like supporting the kill shelters, which like I'm not gonna say my like opinion on that, but it's like as opposed to like rationalizing the kill shelters, wouldn't it be like a better idea to stop people from breeding animals? Not like breeding, but like
no.
like force breeding. Like,
no, yeah. So that's exactly why the same people who argue that kill shelters are probably better than no kill shelters because no kill shelters can only most shelters, I think it's dependent on whether it's private or government, whether or not they can refuse to take animals. So those people who argue for kill shelters, I guess not really. It's not as in like, oh well, yes, kill all these animals.
Yeah, obviously
nobody's like that.
It's
but
not like, bro, I wake up every morning to murder these fucking animals. It's
exactly.
Like,
so they're
you gotta do
same.
what you gotta do to make sure that the animals that currently exist or whatever.
Yeah. So the same people who argue for that also like are like the ones who are like, neuter your animals. Don't buy from breeders. Don't buy from like pet stores because they come from
because they're already there.
Yeah, exactly. The same people who argue for that. And what that reminds me a lot of is abortion, because
oh my god.
Because that's really similar. It really echoes the argument that, oh well, why don't you just tell people to stop like abstinence?
Well, yeah.
Or
so like, wouldn't the argument for abortion be the opposite for the kill shelters, where it's like?
No, it's very similar.
Yeah, it's the same.
No, it's the same.
I read it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's. Well, of course you want to focus on like the protection before getting to the part where it's like an abortion. Yeah, but I think they're not the same, but they're similar. I don't know. I value animals highly, so that makes me because when I see like videos of animals getting hurt and abused, I'd rather like the little animal be euthanized than like not be hurt and suffer.
Well, like I guess
unless there's like a chance, obviously.
Like the way you got to think about it too is like if like there's certain odds where they're like definitely gonna be put into a shelter, like a kill shelter, they're gonna be abused. Then
kill shelters don't abuse. Well,
no,
I'd like to
not
think
the kill shelter, but like by other people, by owners and shit like that.
Okay.
You know, because people buy dogs to like specifically for dog fights and stuff like that.
And cats.
Where it's also like they're going through this pain because they were alive. Otherwise, they would not have known what like that like abuse is like, right? So it's like you would want to stop them from being bred. Just
altogether.
Yeah, well, not altogether. You don't want to stop dogs from being bred, you know?
No, I mean, like, not like that, but
it's like
dogs are going to have dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs are going to do the do. There's always going to be dogs.
Dogs are going to be dogs. No, but like I guess like there's different argument, you know, different like solutions to different arguments where it's like for animals, you'd want to stop them from, I don't know,
reproducing. That's why when you go to the vet, they're automatically like, okay, neuter. When are we gonna neuter?
When we took our animals, well, my cats, to go to the vet, like they were pushing. They're like, hey, so like now we can start neutering them as soon as like 6-8 weeks old.
Yeah, they want to do it right away.
Yeah,
I understand that,
which makes sense. Yeah,
I understand that because when you went to go get your cats, you saw the conditions of how people are when they find little baby animals.
Yeah, like
automatically they don't do anything they don't want to pay for any bills. They just want to sell them right away. And on top of that, they don't treat them well. Yeah, they don't give them the proper food.
Like I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this before, but when I got my little Yumi, the second cat I have, she had an infected eye. Her siblings had infected eyes. The people who gave me her or sold me her, like what's it called? They couldn't find all of the kitties. Like I'd imagine you'd have the kitties by their mom, or like you'd have the kitties in like some secluded area so that they can't be like fucked with, because they had like dogs and other animals there, you know. And it's like I spent like a good like 15 minutes waiting for them to show me all 3 kitties, and like ideally I'd have taken them all, knowing the conditions they're in, but I didn't have money for them all. And like the original plan was that it was,
I would do a deal. I'd be like, give them all for 60.
Yeah. It'd be well, I didn't have that, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's like it was like $40 for a cat, and they say you should never give away your cats. You should always sell them, because then that proves that the person who wants to buy them wants to buy them for the cats and not just to, you know, do whatever they want to do with. Because you mentioned something where people look for free cats and then they like throw them into a dog fighting ring.
Yeah. So you never want to give them out for free.
You always want to like make sure the person
Because those types of people will almost never pay for
for
the
an
animal.
They'll look for what's free.
Yeah.
No, but like like to me that was like before you told me about that. Like the amount of care that these people had for the cats was like evident to me when I was like I had my friend go through his friend to talk to them about it because I didn't know the people. But my friend said that the original price was $40 for one kitty, and I was like, you know what, that's fine. That's not horrible, but that's kind of expensive. But I was like, okay, whatever. And then my friend talked them down to $30. And then they went down to 20.
Which is how much we paid for Lily.
My little Lily. Yeah, but like they went down to 20. And it's like these people clearly don't need the money.
Don't care.
Or don't want the money. They just want to get rid of it. So whatever they can get for it, they'll get. Like they're desperate to get rid of the cat, not for the money. So it's like $5. Okay, you drive a hard bargain, sir, but here's the cat, And it's like maybe they would have been like I would have believed that they were desperate for the money if the cats weren't like all like had like infected eyes, like could barely walk. They were like so fat because of the worms, but like everything else was skinny about them. They were like unkempt. They were all like scraggly and like. I don't expect little baby kitties to be like the cleanest and
immaculate
nice.
Little babies.
But it's when I got my Lily, she was like way cleaner than these cats, and it's like I felt so bad. One of them couldn't even open its eyes.
That's what made me sad was how could you look at the little baby who they can barely open their eyes and they're all crusted over. Look at how like painful that looks, and to look at all those little babies and just play like mess around with them and like how is that? I don't understand.
No, and then
how does that not make you like cringe and like feel terrible?
Like I'm pretty sure. Again, I mentioned this before, but when we went to go look at the kitties, my cat, there's the first one we saw, my little Yumi, and like my friend was holding her, and like the mom of the people who were selling it comes up to her, grabs her head, like starts shaking her really hard, and then she's just like yelling at her, like trying to see if she'll get scared, and like obviously the fucking cat's gonna be terrified, and like she recessed into my friend's arm, and it's like, why would you do that? Why is that? And then they started laughing about it. It's like, why the fuck is that funny?
I wish I was there. I would have told her off.
No, you wouldn't.
I don't care.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't have.
Well, let's go back in time.
Yeah, and just like take you there to like some ghetto ass like place and just like see what you would do. No, but then
you've heard that thing where like everybody's afraid of white girls. Everybody's terrified of us.
The old white ladies, yeah. But yeah, and this is very aggravating seeing like how little respect people have for like those little kids, especially like baby animals.
Yeah.
Like all animals in general, obviously, but like baby animals, like why would you do that to them?
Yeah.
What did they do? They just meowed. That's all kitties do. Meow.
They're just cute, and they eat and they poop too, though.
Did you know
and
that?
They purr.
Did you know that cats only meow to humans and they don't actually meow to each other in nature?
I like that fact. That's very interesting to know.
I thought you were gonna say that's very indentation to know.
Okay.
No, but that we're just gonna. I think we're gonna call it on this episode.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very, very,
very sad ending, but
very low. Yeah. Do you want to tell a joke before we end?
Uh-oh. This one's a little bit inappropriate.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so this dude named Bubbles.
Bubbles, okay.
He goes into the bathroom, I guess. Okay. And I'm probably gonna tell this wrong, but
okay,
this dude named Bubbles goes to the bathroom.
All right. From the Powerpuff.
I already flipped it up. I already messed up the joke.
Okay. Well, then restart it, bro. All right. Well, that's gonna be this episode of the Big Kids Podcast.
So one dude. Okay, so one dude. I already ruined it, but
all right.
Okay.
Well, then that's enough.
All right, that's it. Okay.
So I guess the joke was her trying to tell the joke. That's pretty funny. Like you
I gave away.
Fuck up something so simple.
I gave away the punchline in the first sentence.
Is his name Bubbles? Is that what?
No, these dudes keep walking out of the bathroom, and this and the
dude.
They're
blowing bubbles. And
yeah.
Shit. Yeah. No, but what's it called? So the joke would have been like, from what I remember is that there's
dudes that keep walking out of the bathroom. The other dude that keeps noticing this is like, hey, what are you guys doing there?
There's one guy sitting at a bar and
bubbles.
He keeps on noticing that guys are coming in and out of the bathroom multiple times, and that there's a lot of noise coming from the bathroom. That's
not no, the noise is not a part of the joke.
Well, then how would you know? Anyway, so all right, well that's it for the Big Kids Podcast. We'll see you guys on Sunday with a new episode. Maybe some few surprises for this next episode. All right, I'm your co-host D Money, and this is
Jollia.
all right. And then we'll see you guys in a few days. Have a great rest of your week.
See you guys. Bye.